According to ESPN, the Red Sox are scheduled for a big breakout in 2024. The question we're talking about today is why. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. I would say as a fan base, we've been, less than optimistic about the Red Sox chances of being a successful team in 2024. But maybe we've been undervaluing them. ESPN released an article just a week ago that had the Red Sox as the #1 breakout candidate in the entire sport. So the question we're asking ourselves today, why are they saying that? So we are doing in today's videos, we're going to be breaking down this article, talking about why ESPN believes the Red Sox have the highest chance of breaking out in 2024, what we could possibly be missing about this club, and what ESPN could possibly be missing in their equation. But before we get into that, just a heads up, we are going to be live tonight on this channel. We're going to be talking about everything Red Sox related, the latest news, the latest rumors, anything Red Sox related you guys want to talk about, we can talk about live and in person tonight. Again, that is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time on this channel. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. The article in question here was written by ESPN analyst Bradford Doolittle, and basically what he did was create a mathematical equation by the name of the Breakout Index to try and predict which teams are going to have a breakout season in 2024. Now, this Breakout Index has been around for a little bit now, and it hasn't been the most successful model historically. It has just a 35% success rate over its lifespan. However, it was very successful last year. It predicted 4 out of the 6 teams that eventually broke out in Major League Baseball, including the World Series winning Texas Rangers and the runner-up Arizona Diamondbacks. What this Breakout Index model, or BRK for short, does is it takes in a whole bunch of factors with the current position of a team and compares it to other teams that have broken out in the past. These factors include things like prospect rankings, projections, roster age, organizational record, previous leaps the team has taken in the past, luck, and free agent spending. This creates a singular value, again known as the Breakout Index, or BRK. The Red Sox BRK for 2024 is 106.5. This is the highest BRK in all of Major League Baseball. So why does Doolittle think that the Red Sox could be a breakout team in 2024? Well, one of the biggest things it does, this model, is it takes into account the winning percentage of a minor league system over the last 3 years. For the Red Sox, their entire minor league system beginning in 2020's win percentage was 588, 429, and last year was 502. What this indicates to Doolittle is that these prospects that were helping this team in 2020 win at a .588 percentage are now getting closer to Major League Baseball, to being legitimate impact players at the big league level. Now, this is something we already kind of knew. The Red Sox do have a current young core on this team. Guys like Tristan Casas, Brian Bayo, Jaron Duran, Vaughn Grissom, Cutter Crawford, and a ton more players are currently on this roster, hoping to help the team in 2024. But this also includes prospects that could help this team at some point during the 2024 season, which we've been talking about for months now, right? The Red Sox top prospects are getting closer to Major League ready, and that's a big factor as to why in this model the Red Sox are predicted to break out. But that's not the only part of this. The other part of this is something I think a lot of us as fans are underrating about this current roster. No, they do not have the star power that a lot of other teams have, and that's something we've been very frustrated with, but that doesn't mean they don't have talent. We already talked about their young core, but when you combine that with the veteran core on this team who all have something to prove, guys like Lucas Giolito, Trevor Story, Tyler O'Neill, and even Rafael Devers to some degree, in this case leads to a winning formula for this ESPN model. So when you look at this roster, you really break it down, it's not entirely surprising to me that they are a breakout candidate. Again, do they have the star power that the Dodgers or the Braves or the Yankees currently have on their roster? No, but they have a good combination of players on this team that could, if everything works out, break out in 2024, and that's sort of what this model is designed to do. Take a look at everything that could go right for a team and figure out if there's a mathematical possibility that it does. And I think based on this model, there is a mathematical possibility that based on everything the Red Sox have on their current roster, they could be successful in 2024. And ESPN isn't the only one who's projecting the Red Sox to be better in 2024 than they were in 2023. Fangraphs recently put out their projections that have the Red Sox at 82 wins. It's marginal, but it is better than 2023. Most major betting sites right now have the Red Sox over under in terms of season wins at 80-81 wins, which again is marginal but better than 2023. So if you're looking at it from a mathematical standpoint, if the Red Sox are projected for 82 wins, what is the likelihood that for a month they get hot and all of a sudden that 82 turns into 86 or 87 and they're fighting for a playoff spot? Probably pretty decent, right? And again, this is as if everything goes well, but it makes sense a little bit as to why the Red Sox would be a top breakout candidate when you combine the young talent on this team with veterans with something to prove. However, this formula isn't perfect. I think there's one really glaring problem with this formula that could immediately discount everything I just said. The flaw in this formula is that it takes every factor as a whole. It takes offense, defense, and pitching and combines it into one value. The reason this is a flaw is because it allows parts of this Red Sox team that are stronger than others to drag up the medium. I'm specifically talking about the Red Sox offense. Now, I know a lot of you guys are pessimistic about this 2024 team, but statistically, there's no denying that this Red Sox offense has the potential to be really good. You take a look at what they were able to do last year. You've got a lot of those players returning to this team in 2024. Then you take a look at what the additions to this Red Sox team could look like in this lineup with Tyler O'Neill, Vaughn Grissom, and Trevor Story, and you're talking about the potential to be one of the deepest lineups in the game, possibly top 10 offense in all of Major League Baseball. It's not a statistical unlikelihood that this happens. I understand that you don't feel that way, or I understand why you wouldn't feel that way, but I'm not trying to argue this. This is just straight up statistics, especially if you can get Vaughn Grissom, Tyler O'Neill, and Trevor Story to be legit impact players. Now, there are still question marks with this offense, but there's a lot more room for error with the lineup than there is in other areas of the team. For example, if you're looking at this lineup right now, there are probably about 7 or 8 question marks within it. Masataka Yoshida, what does he look like? Can he fully adjust? Trevor Story, what does he look like? Can he stay fully healthy? Tyler O'Neill in the same boat. Vaughn Grissom, can he reach that potential that he had in 22? All these factors, what are the likelihood that every single one of them goes poorly for the Red Sox? It's pretty low. If you could get Masataka Yoshida to adjust well, if you can have Trevor Story to stay healthy, and Tyler O'Neill suffers a little bit, and Vaughn Grissom takes a little bit to get ready, that's still a very productive offense. You have that room for error. The problem with this formula is that the same cannot be said about the rotation. The rotation has a lot less room for error and a lot of question marks. Brian Bayo, can he, working with Pedro and Andrew Bailey, bring himself to a number 1 or number 2 pitcher in baseball? It's possible. Is it likely? I'm not entirely sure. Cutter Crawford this offseason has been getting a ton of love. His fastball was recently compared to the fastball of Garrett Cole's in terms of its effectiveness. Can he, working with Andrew Bailey and Craig Breslow, bring his game up to the next level? Lucas Giolito, who at one point was really successful, can the Red Sox get him back to that 18 to 20 range where he was a dominant pitcher? Those are all question marks like in the lineup. The difference is you can hide a question mark that ends up negative in the lineup. You can't hide one in the rotation. If Brian Bayo doesn't takes a step forward and say he takes a step back, all of a sudden you've got a massive hole in your rotation with no one else to fill it. Same with Cutter Crawford, same with Lucas Giolito. So my big problem with this mathematical equation, with this projection, is it uses everything as a whole and doesn't look at everything individually. The pitching is the same weight as the offense, as the same weight as the defense, which, by the way, I think will be better in 2024. I don't think we need to worry as much about the defense as we did last year. I think last year will end up being more of an outlier than it is a medium going forward, especially once you get Trevor Story in there. Tristan Casas has made adjustments already with his defense. You've got Wilyer Abreu, Jarren Duran, who are both really solid defenders, or were last year, right? I think you will see a better defensive team from the Red Sox, but again, how much is that being dragged up by the potential of the offense? And to me, this is by far and away the biggest flaw surrounding this equation. Overall, when you're looking at this equation as a whole, I wouldn't go putting $1 million on the Red Sox to win the World Series, let alone make the playoffs based on this equation alone, but I do think it's really interesting to take a look at. I think all of us have been so upset with the way this team has been run over this offseason. We have been forgetting to take a look at how this team actually looks on paper, which is statistically better than it was last season, and it makes sense why there's the possibility of the Red Sox really breaking out in 2024. I think there is a likelihood that, again, if they're on that 82 win pace, that they hit a hot streak in the middle of May or the middle of June, and all of a sudden they're an 87-80 win team. Is it likely? I'm not entirely sure, but I think this opens my eyes a little bit, and I hope it opens your eyes a little bit too, that the possibility of the young core on the Boston Red Sox really takes a step forward, combined with the fact that these veterans have something to play for and something to prove, leads to a winning formula that no one saw coming. And who knows, maybe the Red Sox are able to shock the world. But that's just my opinion on this article, so let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think? What do you think about ESPN saying the Red Sox are a possible breakout candidate? In the comment section down below. Do you understand it? Do you not understand it? Do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? Let me know all your thoughts. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Don't forget, we are going to be live tonight. Hey, it's my birthday stream, so let's have some fun tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time on this channel. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. I'll see you tonight and in the red seats.